Wintertime is usually when I start feeling like I'm in a rut with making meals, especially while it's so pandemic-y out. I haven't really been meal planning or shopping the way that I usually do. Here's our, our 2 sandwiches. This isn't even all the coleslaw. Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with the Dinnerly meal kit service. So until now, Green Chef was the only meal kit service I'd tried. I've made several videos about it, and I joined a couple years ago because at the time they had a specific keto or low carb plan, which was the type of diet that we were following a little more closely back then. And recently, in the last year or so, they had actually combined a couple of the dietary plans together. So for example, the low carb plan joined with their paleo plan, so it wasn't quite the same, and really it was never a keto plan. I'll just say that now. It was always kind of generally low carb. But so Green Chef had been changing. Another thing that changed was that it hasn't been so easy to switch between plans. So for example, if you didn't like all of the low carb options one week, you used to be able to just switch to like the vegetarian menu that week. And they made that a little more challenging to do. So I wasn't really searching necessarily for a new meal kit plan. I kind of was just ordering it when I felt like it, and I still do order it maybe once a month or so. But I actually recently found Dinnerly via an ad on Instagram, and I kind of just, went to their website and took a look at the menu. One of the nice things is you can see the actual current menu right there on their site without having to sign up or anything first. So a lot of the food sounded really good, and it also looked like a really good value for their plan. So I decided to give it a try. So when you sign up for Dinnerly, you do tell them your dietary preferences as far as like if you are looking for low carb or low calorie meals, or you prefer chicken or beef or fish, that sort of thing. And so when you get in there and start picking your meals for the first time, they have pre-populated some selections for you based on those preferences that you gave, but you can totally pick from any of the available recipes for that week. I think I counted like close to 40 recipes for the week, so you can choose from all the available options from everybody. So you can also filter using those tags. So again, low carb, low calorie, kid friendly, one pot, vegetarian, all those kind of descriptors. You can sort of filter through those based on what you're looking for. And another neat thing is that they have other types of food items besides just, meal recipes. They had smoothies, they have baked goods, breads, cakes, cookies, additional packs of protein that you can add on, maybe like chicken and shrimp if you want to add it into something else that you're ordering that week that doesn't include those. So it seems very flexible, and like there's a lot of different options. So I subscribed for 4 2-person meals per week, but you can actually even change the number of portions or the number of meals as long as it's between 6 to 12 total portions. So I could have gone down to 3 2-person meals. You could go up, I guess, to 6 different meals, or I guess if there's something that you really like, you could get, multiple portions of that one recipe. So again, really flexible. Now, Dinnerly does kind of advertise themselves as the budget meal kit option, and I could tell because the photos of the prepared recipes looked very basic. Like they didn't look, intimidating with special plating. And actually, on the first week that I was subscribing, one of the meals was actually plated on a paper plate. So I think they were really driving home like the simple budget appearance of their plan. They also save money in a few different ways. So one is that there's less packaging, which is a very good thing in my opinion. They also don't include as many basic ingredients. So with Green Chef, they provide basically everything except salt, pepper, and cooking oil. Sometimes they don't give you butter that you need, but Dinnerly requires a little bit more involved extra ingredients. I'll explain more about those in a little bit. Another thing they do is they don't provide printed recipe cards. So I think probably almost all the other meal kit companies give you like a printed color card with, you know, the full recipe, the ingredients, photos of each step of the preparation, and Dinnerly doesn't do that. You just have to look at the recipes online. So I actually got an email the day before my scheduled delivery with all of the links to the recipes in it, and it's not a big deal for me because I actually read recipes off of my phone a lot while I'm cooking. If you wanted to, you could print them out, I guess. One thing that I do feel like was missing and wouldn't really impact their bottom line costs is there aren't photos of the different steps along the way for preparation. So if you did want to check, you know, am I cutting these pieces to the right size, or, you know, am I using the right type of pan or whatever, there's no photographs, and you'll see when I show an example of cooking and following the recipe how that looks. They do sort of advertise that they are like 6 ingredients and 6 or fewer steps. Sometimes there's an extra credit step at the end where maybe a more confident cook might take one additional step to kind of fancy up their meal, or they also sometimes will explain things that might be good ways for a kid to get involved in making the meal, but they are pretty much just simple, straightforward recipes. So I was a little surprised to see the extent of the ingredients that I would need to provide myself. That is included in the recipe. So again, you know, you get them a day in advance. So if you needed to run out and get something, I guess you have time to do that. Like I said, I'm usually used to just needing to provide salt, pepper, and oil. For Dinnerly, you need different types of oils, different types of vinegars, flour, eggs, those sorts of basic things. It was okay for me because I do cook at home frequently and I have, you know, most of those basics on hand, but I could see if somebody was using Dinnerly because they don't usually cook a lot themselves at home, they might not have all of those specific ingredients on hand already. So I'm going to show you when I unboxed my first order and how it all arrived, and then I'm going to show you a couple of recipes that I prepared and our thoughts on those, and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on Dinnerly. Alright, so my package is here. It arrived right on time, around noon on Friday. I will say I didn't get any kind of notification that it had actually shipped, I guess, or was on its way or anything, but it was delivered via UPS, and I get UPS alerts. So what I got was an alert that said a package was on the way from Brands, which I assumed was this since that's what I was expecting today. So inside the box, inside the lid, it does have a little checklist about like how to unpack this. You received your recipes via email. Make sure you have those basic staple items on hand, and then cook it. So they have used a silver insulated bag. That's all that's in here. And it does say on this sticker that they have recycling information on their website for this packaging. So as I had suspected, everything is kind of just loose in this bag. So it's up to you to sort out what goes with what recipe. And actually there was a piece of cardboard that wasn't doing anything or separating anything. So I'm just gonna take everything out for now. So we have some lettuce. This looks pretty good. Chopped up coleslaw. This is a bag of name brand tortellini, or tortelloni, I guess. There's some buns. They have not been squished or anything. Yeah, I mean, everything's in pretty good shape. Now this container of parsley was open. It looks like it's not gonna shut itself again. 2 tomatoes, they were in there fine. It's a little scraped up, but it's fine. So I'm really not sure what that cardboard divider was meant to separate. Maybe the refrigerated from the unrefrigerated ingredients, but it kind of seemed like pretty much everything was refrigerated, so I'm not sure. And it looks like that's it. Oh, nope. One last little cheese in here. Now, there's something all over here, and I think maybe, yeah, this bag of breadcrumbs is leaking. It just has like a zip top. And it looks like it came unzipped a little. So a few breadcrumbs got all over, but otherwise, I mean, everything was in really good condition considering it was just rattling around loose in a bag. So I figured I would go through and just kind of sort out what goes with what using the recipes on my phone. Alright, so we got everything. I actually misread an ingredient, so I thought something was missing, and then I realized I had just picked the wrong thing. So everything's here. So we're doing a creamy tortelloni with peas and garlicky panko, a BLT salad, which for some reason also came with rolls, steak frites with garlic butter pan sauce, and a BBQ chicken sandwich with creamy slaw. Okay, so I am about to cook our first dinner. And to kind of keep things organized, I sort of just used these couple containers that I had. But we are going to start with this ranch salad. So I'll just pull out that tub. And I have my recipe all pulled up here on my phone, so you can see the different little tags that it gives this meal. So it's like a quick under 30 minutes, it's one pot, healthy, low carb, and a little description, then some allergens and nutrition information, and then it lists what they send for this meal, so that's what I have there in that box. And then what I need, so salt, pepper, apple cider vinegar or red wine vinegar, and olive oil, and a baking sheet. So it looks like we actually bake the bacon. I have never done bacon in the oven. I know some people swear by it. I might just do it in a pan because that's the way I prefer to make my bacon. And then the rolls, which when I was unpacking this, I was like, why did it come with rolls? That's to make into croutons. So then we're gonna cut those rolls up and actually coat them in the bacon fat and bake those to make croutons. And then we have the lettuce and tomatoes to slice. It looks like we're just gonna toss them with vinegar, oil, salt, and pepper, and then kind of put everything together and top it with cheese and ranch dressing. And actually, this is kind of funny. Usually there's 5 or 6 steps, or sometimes the 6th step will be like a optional thing. In this case, it ends with step 4, and then step 5 says, what were you expecting? More steps? All right, so for the final assembly here, we have our lettuce with a little bit of oil and vinegar, salt and pepper. Then we'll top it with the tomato. I only used one of the 2 tomatoes that it came with because my husband does not eat tomatoes, so I'll just have the tomato. And add the bacon, which came out nice and crispy. This was actually really nice bacon. It was like a thick cut kind of bacon, very good. Then we have our croutons, which came out beautifully from the oven, and I tested one, and I have to say, cooking croutons in bacon fat is a delicious way to make croutons. This is actually going to be quite a lot of croutons for these salads, but luckily they're very good croutons. And then we have this shredded cheddar jack cheese mix. And finally the Hidden Valley Ranch dressing packet, not sponsored. So here's our finished salads. Here's our little garbage pile. And then as far as cleanup, I really just have my pan that I cooked the bacon in, the bowl that I dressed the lettuce in. If I hadn't used this Silpat, I mean, I'll have to wash the Silpat, but otherwise I would have had to clean this baking sheet. And then I used 1 pair of tongs, one knife for everything, and I did also pull out my salad spinner because nowhere in the instructions did it say to wash your lettuce, but you really should be washing that lettuce before you use it. Of what went in it. I will say mine has tomato and yours did not. It came with 2 tomatoes and I just didn't give you tomato. But you try it and then I'll tell you like what all was in it and how I made it.
I'll try the crouton first.
Yeah, try the croutons.
Wow, croutons are restaurant quality, and these were you made them, like they're not.
They were like hamburger rolls.
Chunks of, wow.
Cut them up and toasted. So it's lettuce, tomato, bacon. Then you take the cut up roll, mix it in the bacon fat and bake it.
Oh wow.
You toast them. Yeah, and then cheese and ranch dressing.
I mean, it would not be a surprise then
that it's delicious.
That I was about to say these are the best croutons I've ever had in my entire life. Clearly, they're cooked in bacon fat.
Now, also tell me how you feel about the lettuce flavor, because the lettuce, before it was placed in the salad and the salad dressing was added, the lettuce was just mixed with some oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper. I think that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
It gives it a little extra something, even if there's no actual salad dressing on that part.
That's a great touch for a salad.
And now, my last question for you is, what do you think of the proportions of ingredients to each other?
So far, look great. I haven't seen a ton of bacon, but I don't, we got croutons that are cooked in bacon fat. I don't need a ton more bacon.
So what I was gonna say is, it made a lot of croutons.
No, it's great. Luckily,
it was the croutons 2 hamburger rolls worth of croutons, and I feel like we would have been just as happy with half as many croutons.
Well, I can say this: many salads in my life, I'm putting the croutons over to the side because they're.
I know you don't even.
These I look forward to eating all of them. So there's a major difference.
Made so many croutons, and also I don't know. I love dressing and ranch dressing. I could have used a whole packet just on my salad. Yeah. They only gave us 1 ranch dressing packet between both salads, which is why having the oil and vinegar on the lettuce also was like a
dressing is a little light.
Yeah.
I like a little more dressing, but I think that is a testament to just how good the croutons are, because I actually cannot wait to eat the rest of them. More dressing, it would be perfect.
Okay.
Other than that, it's great. Every bite is phenomenal. And yeah, the salt, vinegar, oil with the lettuce does make up for the lack of the dressing.
It helps.
But I still would. It's supposed to be ranch, right? Or
it is ranch.
It's a Like I wouldn't know that was ranch dressing because the dressing's already gone.
It just kind of soak up and absorb.
Yeah. Other than that, no. It's honestly, every bite is great.
Well, we'll see how the next recipe goes. So for the sake of the video, I'm gonna record myself doing one more recipe, which is the barbecue chicken, what's it called? Barbecue chicken sandwich with creamy slaw. Here's the picture. I have all the ingredients organized in this Dollar Tree file holder. So according to the recipe, they give us 2 potato buns, a packet of barbecue sauce, a ½ package of chicken breast strips, some cabbage, that's like quite a lot of cabbage for a side slaw, and another pack of ranch dressing. So you can see a little bit of repetition from the previous menu. And then I have to provide neutral oil, which I assume is like a vegetable oil, like not olive oil that has more of a pronounced flavor, apple cider or white wine vinegar, sugar, and salt and pepper, and I will be using a skillet. It does say in the tags here that this is a 1-pot meal, and it has a little subtitle, no chopping, no slicing, no knife required. And I was about to say, well, I think I have to slice the rolls in half, but actually they're already pre-sliced. So I really don't think I'll have to cut anything. I guess the chicken is already in, well, it says strips. So I guess that's the size pieces that need to go in these sandwiches. So let's get started. So this one actually says you can cook it in 5 steps, but it's another one that actually only has 4 steps. So the first step is to make the slaw by whisking together ranch dressing, water, oil, vinegar, and sugar. Mix in that cabbage blend and then season it with salt and pepper. Then we're gonna cook the chicken in a pan, season it with salt, pepper, heat some oil in the skillet. Add the chicken, cook until well browned and cooked through 2 to 3 minutes per side. It says transfer to a cutting board and then use your fingers or 2 forks to pull apart and shred the chicken. So, okay, we don't need knives, but we are shredding the chicken. So 2 little notes at this point. The chicken actually looked really good. I'm kind of weird about chicken and like cutting off weird little bits of it, and there really wasn't anything for me to trim off of this chicken, but I did just cut a couple of the larger pieces just so they were all more evenly sized and would cook evenly. And then regarding the slaw, that little packet of ranch dressing was really not enough to wet the slaw to my liking, so I'll probably add a spoonful or 2 of mayonnaise to this just to kind of wet it the rest of the way. As I suspected, that was a lot of cabbage with not a lot of other ingredients to add to it to make it coleslaw. And step 3 is to finish the chicken. Heat olive oil in the same skillet, add the barbecue sauce and shredded chicken and warm it all together. And step 4 is to toast the buns in the oven and then just top them with the chicken and some of the slaw and serve the sandwiches with the remaining slaw alongside. And again, this is like a lot of cabbage. So, I mean, I like coleslaw, but I think this is another one of the things where maybe the proportions are going to be off. We will see. And then once again, it's like step 5. Did you think there'd be more steps? That's it. So, should be an easy one. All right, so here's our 2 sandwiches. This isn't even all the coleslaw. It is pouring off of the sandwiches, and they each get some on the side, and there's still some in the bowl. Here is all of the garbage for this, plus the package that the chicken was in, which I just put directly into the trash. So I guess a relatively small little pile. So I've actually eaten like most of my side coleslaw so that I could access the sandwich. The coleslaw turned out okay. Ranch dressing was like an interesting.
The paprika in the coleslaw, the barbecue
There's
sauce?
ranch dressing. The barbecue sauce is very good. Try the chicken.
I'm trying to get to the sandwich. You know, I guess it came with barbecue sauce.
Yeah, no, the combination of the chicken and the coleslaw on the sandwich is really, really good.
Here we go. I like the roll.
Yeah, the rolls are good. They are what the croutons are made out of in the salad.
Are these cooked in butter too? Or?
They're just toasted. What do you think of the sandwich and the chicken?
It's really good.
The sandwich part,
yeah,
and everything in combination with the chicken is very good. But all the additional 5 pounds of coleslaw, like I like coleslaw a lot. That is way too much coleslaw.
That's very good. And the rolls, what kind of roll?
They're potato rolls.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the roll's great. The chicken turned out great. Barbecue sauce is delicious with the coleslaw on the sandwich.
Yeah,
very good. But there's too much other side coleslaw, and also my whole sandwich has kind of just disintegrated, and I'm probably gonna eat most of this with a fork. So what were my final thoughts on Dinnerly? Overall, we were really happy with it. The meals were really good tasting. They were quick and easy to prepare and to clean up. The portion sizes were really good. I did get some ideas for some other kind of simple things that I could make on my own. It is very budget friendly. Actually, 1 week of meals, even without any kind of discounts, costs probably about the same as like 1 DoorDash delivery meal that we might get on a busy weeknight. The menus are pre-selected for you based on the preferences that you set up when you first join, but it's easy to change your menu, skip a week, pause or cancel your account altogether, so it's very flexible. And you actually also have the option to select from a couple of different delivery days. Most other delivery type services that I've seen are just like, we're in your town on Fridays, so get ready, you're not. But this one I actually had a couple different days of the week that I was able to choose what might suit my schedule the best. Now, as far as negatives or suggestions for them, as I mentioned while I was cooking some of the meals, the proportions of some of the ingredients did just seem a little off. It's probably due to how their like standard ingredients are packaged. So like, if this is the package of shredded cabbage, that's as much shredded cabbage as everybody gets. Or, you know, you get 2 rolls, or you get 1 packet of ranch dressing. So there were a few things that I probably would have adjusted a little more or less of, but I think it's just, again, kind of with their like low cost model, they just use standard ingredients that they can slot in and out of the different recipes. Also, to keep their costs down and to keep within their 6 ingredient promise, you are expected to provide a wider range of specific items yourself. Like I mentioned, the oils, vinegars, flour. Also, I didn't necessarily learn any new techniques or ingredients. That's not why I personally subscribe to meal kit services, but if you were doing it because you wanted to like pick up something new, they are very basic, simple, quick recipes. So I didn't personally, learn anything new that I didn't already know how to do. So wintertime is usually when I start feeling like I'm in a rut with making meals, and I'm also busy a lot in the evenings after work, and I don't want to take a long time to cook dinner. I actually originally subscribed to Green Chef during January a few years ago, especially while it's so pandemic-y out. I haven't really been meal planning or shopping the way that I usually do, so I usually am just like keeping staples on hand to make the same couple of basic meals. So I do feel like I'm making the same things over and over. So I think that I will keep using Dinnerly to guarantee that I have like a good variety of easy meals that are also very tasty, but don't take a lot of time or effort to prepare. And I am still also subscribed to Green Chef. I actually have one coming, I think either next week or the week after. So I can definitely see us switching between the 2 services just based on, whichever one has the better looking recipes that week, or, what I'm gonna have time to prepare. So when I joined Dinnerly, I did get a good discount as a first-time member. So whatever kind of referral codes or links I'm able to obtain, I'll put that information down in the description. I'll also put my referral information for Green Chef if you want to try that. Like I said, I've made several other videos about my Green Chef experience and sample recipes and things. So if you're looking for some kind of meal kit service, those are 2 that I personally have used and can recommend. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I can keep making videos about my meal kit experiences, and I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, Dimitri loves chewing on plastic bags. Okay.
And he's yawning. Did you get that on camera?
I think so. Oh.
Really?
See ya.
Really?
I don't need to be part of this.